So good morning, everyone. A real pleasure to see you all here this morning, and just thank you for coming out. It's such a lovely day as well, so please stay in the building and don't run out into the nice sunshine. Yes, great to see you all, and welcome to this conference. Your presence, I think, today shows the shared commitment that we've got across London mental health trusts to really work together on many areas, but particularly this area about digital transformation. And as you all know, the Cavendish Square Group brings together the exec teams and the leaders across London's mental health trusts, and we collaborate to share information, good practice, and strengthen the voice of mental health in London. And just a couple of facts, which I'm sure I don't need to tell you all, but reminds us why we do these things. If you've got a serious mental illness, you will probably die 16 years younger than the rest of the population. And there are now enough children with mental health problems in London to fill 3,500 classrooms. So some shocking statistics, which means that we have got to keep this relentless focus on mental health. So it's part of that reason we're here today, and this conference, we had one last year that was looking at new models and safety in mental health, and we committed to do another one, and today we said we would do digital, and guess what? It's going to be in the 10-year plan as one of the 3 shifts of the government's analog to digital, and so today we're going to be focusing on what does that mean for mental health trusts, and there's a terrific programme that we got laid out today. So I think what we probably recognise as well is that transformation doesn't always require big new platforms or loads of investment. Sometimes I think the biggest gains come from rethinking what we can already have and what we can use in terms of our own EPRs or making data more accessible and actionable. I was fortunate yesterday to be at a conference. I don't spend my entire time at conferences, but it just happened yesterday. I was invited to something at the Boston Consulting Group in London, and they'd brought people from around the world, and they were talking about digital. And we've all got the same issues. Doesn't matter where people are coming from, Australia or Singapore or the UK, we've all got issues about data and digital and how we transfer that into everyday practice. So we know we can gain a lot more by working across as trusts together, either pooling our expertise or resources, reducing duplication, increasing our bargaining power when it comes to negotiating with suppliers, and ensuring that we design the solutions that we need for mental health, not just what is given and that we're on the tail of big acute trusts on their electronic records, their systems, and we just are forced to do something that goes on the back of that that's not really applicable to mental health. So it's really up to us to determine what the route map is that we're using and how we can transfer. And you're going to hear lots of things today about really how that's happening in practice and some of the amazing stuff that's happening across the organisations in London. But just a few notes in terms of housekeeping before we start. We are filming. I'm going to capture all the presentations. So if you prefer not to be filmed, perhaps better let one of the comms teams know and they'll make sure that they don't. We'll be keeping to time, both the presentations and the question and answer sessions. So if it comes to a sudden end, we're not being rude. We just need to make sure that we stick to time for the day. We're taking a lunch break about 12:45. There is, fortunately, in the new austere NHS, there's no lunch provided, but there's lots of places around here that you can get food. Tea and coffee available throughout the day. Thank you, Capsticks, who have given us money for that. And if you need help at any point, comms team can be spotted, and they've got "Can I help" badges on, which is good. And we're not expecting fire, so if you do have fire alarms, we have to proceed out of the front doors, straight up the stairs where you came in, out into Cavendish Square. And there are toilets on the left, just before the stairs, back up to reception and through the doors on the right. A slight change to programme. I got a message at 7:30 this morning. Caroline Clark, unfortunately, is ill. But Emma Christie, who's the Deputy Director for Mental Health in London, who many of you know, will be doing Caroline's session Emma was fully involved in developing the content, so is a more than adequate substitute for Caroline. The workshops we're running 4 before lunch, and the same 4 will be repeated in the afternoon, so you can go to different ones. So let's get started. My pleasure to hand over to Michael, Chief Exec of Cavendish, I can't say it. Tavistock and Portman NHS Foundation Trust, and Michael's been instrumental in planning the conference today. Thank you.